Hey everyone, welcome back to Owl Dragon Adventures. I'm Rob MacPherson, and this is going to be my best of 2023 list. So each year we like to put out a list of what games that came out that year we thought were the best of the best. This year we split the list into two lists, myself and Scott's, for really no other reason than I wasn't ready yet, because there were still a few games that I wanted to play. 2023 was a great year for games. We got a lot of new titles coming out. We actually, just for fun, did a list back in the middle of the year just to see where our list lays at that point, and it's completely different than it is for now, at least for me. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive into my top list of 2023, noting that there are so many more that I wish I could have included on this list, but here we go. So my number 10 on this list is going to be from Cosmos. It's going to be My Island. So My Island is the sequel to My City. It is a legacy game, legacy polyomino placement game. This one uses hexes instead of squares as the base shape. I don't want to spoil anything about this. I think they did a fantastic job with this iteration. We really enjoyed My City when we played, but My Island just takes it to a whole new level. The surprises that came out of each of the envelopes, the way the scoring worked, just the way that the placement rules were in the polyominoes themselves, just really, really fantastic game. So that was a really fun way. We just wrapped that up last month. Really had a blast with it. Keep your eye open for our full review on that coming in the very near future. Number 9. This one actually just snuck onto my list. We just got a play in it of last night. I did not think I was going to play it this year because it's been sitting on my shelf and we were running out of time quickly. Just as a peering behind the curtains, this is December 31st that I am filming this. In fact, this is the second time I'm filming it today because my first one had corrupted audio. So here we are. So my number 9 is going to be Rolling Heights from AEG. So AEG is really hit or miss for me, to be completely honest, but their other title that came in last year snuck onto my list pretty quickly too. That was Meeples versus Monsters, or Meeples and Monsters, one of my favorite games of all time. And I don't know if Rolling Heights is going to grow that far on me, but I really like the gimmick of rolling the Meeples. It was fun without being so reliant on a gimmick that you couldn't actually enjoy the game itself, which was really kind of an economic builder in terms of building a city around you. So I thought it was really fun, got destroyed at it, really look forward to playing that one again. My number 8 is a Kickstarter that I got in this year. I just backed it last year, came in pretty quickly. I honestly knew very little about it except for the fact that it was an Awakened Realms game, and I trust Awakened Realms for good games. The minis looked great. Everything about it looked cool. I backed it. So this is going to be Tamashi. So I didn't realize, I don't know how I missed it. It's a bag building game. It's an adventure game. It's a tile exploration game, it's a tile exploration game that uses its core mechanic of building up your bag and then taking them out and filling up your board and then shifting them around to create different patterns. What I'm saying is that it's Bejeweled. At its core, it's Bejeweled. It just does it in such a fun way, and it's really fun to do it in a tactile manner where you're actually, physically moving things around. I think they did a really cool job with it. It's just a unique game. I haven't played anything quite like it. When I first started playing it, I wasn't sure I liked it because I wasn't sure about the replayability, but as I dove in more and more, I really, really started to like it a lot, and I like the core mechanic of it. Really fun game. Really look forward to digging into it deeper, and I gotta find the expansion for it. My number 7 is going to be Valor and Villainy, Ludwig's Labyrinth. So I picked up the predecessor to this game, Minions of Mordak, a few years ago, and really enjoyed the 1v many of that. This one takes a lot of the same mechanics from the earlier game, but puts it into a dungeon crawler, and it turned out to be exactly the dungeon crawler that I was looking for in Tiny Epic Dungeons, that unfortunately wasn't in Tiny Epic Dungeons. So whereas that was a disappointment, Valor and Villainy really filled that niche. Great game. So much fun, hilarious. Only 8 chapters long, so it's not too much of a commitment. We're having so much fun with it. We've really got to get it to the table again in the very near future. Schedules just haven't been meeting up in order to finish a campaign game. But, great game. definitely take a look out for that one. It's definitely flown under a lot of radars. Number 6 is a game that you have to, in my opinion, preface when you play this game that this is a mean game and we're going to punch each other all night. And that's going to be Seas of Havoc by Rock Manor Games. You get to play pirates. So you go to the port, you get your supplies, you get your different maneuver cards. So it's a deck building game and those sorts. And then you go out and you just shoot each other a lot. What's cool about it is when you get damage, it's just an inconvenience. It's just it just fills up your deck because it is a deck building game. But other than that, it doesn't really set you back too much. So there's no hurt feelings in terms of this mean game, but it's just so much fun. It's got Pac-Man rules on the map, so you can sail off one side and back onto the other. You're finding treasures, you're fighting monsters, because there's like Kraken and such. Just really, really fun game. Always up for just, beating up on my friends in pirate manner. So number 5. Number 5 is going to be Three Ring Circus by DeVere. So this one is you are following in the footsteps of P.T. Barnum as he is pushing his way across the country with his three-ring circus, and you're creating your own three-ring circus. And you do so by creating a tableau of different entertainers that come along with you. And depending on the placement in your tableau, you're going to score extra points as you perform for small, medium, and large cities. I think it's a clever little game. It speeds up as you play through it because as you fill up the map, you don't have to visit those stops. You just jump right over them. So just really, really fun game, really fun mechanics. And the board just looks gorgeous afterwards with all the tiny little wooden big top tents just all over the board. So great, great game. My number 4 is one of the reasons that I stalled on this list because we hadn't played it yet, and I really wanted to get a play in before I made this list because I thought I was going to like it, and it turned out that I did. And that's going to be Apiary by Stonemaier Games. So you may have seen on this channel that I do work in the space industry, and so when I saw a game about space bees, I knew that I had to play it. It is so much fun. It's a worker placement game at its core. But what's cool about it is that you never have any blocked spaces because you always bump off workers from the spaces that you're going to play on. So the trade isn't so much, oh, what can't I do this turn? It's, oh, do I really want to help so-and-so by taking this action because it's going to make their bee more powerful as it gets bumped back to them. So fun little mechanic there. Spatial puzzle down on your board in front of you as you build your hive, your space hive. Really fun game. Glad that we got that to the table. Look forward to tabling it more. Number 3, not much of a surprise to me. I was looking forward to this game, and when it came in, I did love it just as much as I thought I would. In fact, I do have to table this one again soon, too. So many games to play. It's going to be Solar 175 by Cogito Ergo Meeple. So this one is it's a space exploration game. It's very much like an Orleans in terms of the bag building mechanics. Where you're going to put down different workers to do different actions. Some of them are going to get you more workers. Some of them are going to let you explore and put your markers out on the board. I just really, really like what it adds to Orleans as kind of the base mechanic because they're very similar at their core. But it just adds a little bit more scope. I like the voting mechanic that's in this one where you get to vote on what policies and what government you want in charge, which is going to help with victory points at the end. It's a secret mechanic. You get these little dry erase whiteboards that you then put into a little ballot box. So really cool game. Fantastic. I really enjoy that one. I always love bag building games though, so it was kind of a shoo-in for me. Speaking of bag building games, my number 2 on my list is going to be the Isafarian Guard by Sky Kingdom Games. This one had flown under my radar when it was in crowdfunding, but I saw it earlier this year and I heard that its combat was based around bag building and I knew I had to get it. So it's a campaign game. You explore a map like any good campaign RPG, and when you come to combat though, you're drawing from your bag these chips which let you know basically what resources you get to spend to activate your different cards. And many of your cards allow you to put other chips into your bag. The place that it really stands out to me is that it's persistent. So anything you put into your bag stays in your bag until you either use it or until you rest and you take them out of your bag that way. So you can strengthen yourself in one fight and you don't feel like, oh man, I finished the fight and now I wasted that move. Because the next fight you start off with a stronger bag. Really cool. They've got some updates coming with the 1.5 mid 2024. I am stalling on my playthrough in order to get the updates in that. It streamlines a few of the grindiness that was in there and adds a few other things. So I'm looking forward to that one. But Ice Safari and Guard, really, really solid game. Just wear a back brace. It's 38 pounds. I'm not exaggerating. It's 38 pounds. And that brings me to my number one game of 2023. So this one was a grail game of mine at PAX Unplugged. I saw it come out of Gen Con, and the box alone made me want to play it. It is a worker swapping game, and it's right in my wheelhouse in terms of theme. It is Celte. So this one is you're playing as a tribe of Celts, and you are building up your power as a tribe. You're building citadels out. You're recruiting new members into your tribe. You're battling. And what's one of the coolest things about it is that the victory points, the brunt of the victory points come at the end with these condition cards. Much like a lot of games, they have conditions like that are, you rotate through where you get X victory points for doing this, and they're cards so you can swap them out each game. But they're only worth as many victory points as they have markers on them. And part of the mechanics of the game is that each player gets to place marks on these cards, so you get to shift the balance of where the victory points lie. Really, really solid game. I haven't heard much about it yet. I've played it at 1, 2, and 3 player count. Looking forward to playing it at 4. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite solos too. It plays very, very quickly and efficiently at all player counts. So always a joy to get to the table. We've tabled it a few times already, and I look forward to tabling it more in 2024. So as I said to begin with, 2023 has just been a fantastic year for board games. I think that the publishers are just knocking it out of the park. The designers are knocking it out of the park. We're getting some really, really solid games out there. Let me know in the comments below if you like any of the games that were on my list, or if you absolutely disagree with me, or let me know what your favorite games of 2023 were. I look forward to seeing what everyone played. I know from looking at the list as I was prepping this one that there's probably 20 other games out there in 2023 that came out that I would love to play that we just didn't have time to play. So that's just that's life. But I look forward to playing some more in 2024. Let me know what your favorites were. And as always, thank you for joining us on our board game adventures.